10 things you should know about the Traxxas MAXX. Now, not all of these are criticisms, they're just things that you should be aware of if you're thinking of getting one of these, or if you've already got one. And point number one you should be aware of is the acceleration, which is absolutely magic. Take a look at this.
That is because under full throttle, that thing is absolutely monstrous. And it will keep up that high level of acceleration until the pack absolutely is dead on its feet. It simply is just non-stop. It's absolutely relentless. I've got a good bashing video of this coming up very shortly. So if you like what you see today, then don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, on to point number two.
And point number two, the battery tray myth. Let me take that camera down and show you just what I mean. Well, people have criticised the battery tray. I really can't see what the issue is, because the very first pack I get, this Power Hobby one, link to that below the video by the way, fits straight away. Nice and easy. The other one that I own, Electron Pro, also fits straight away. You're beginning to see a theme developing here, guys. And one of the older packs I've got, this Sylphonic one, 4,500 milliamp pack on here, also fits without any problem. Now I do own a fourth battery, which is this 50C reaction pack. That is the only one that doesn't fit, so 3 out of the 4 fit in the battery tray. So having seen that practical demonstration, I really can't see what the issue is with the battery tray. This thing, 5,200 milliamps, 50C, like dynamite in this car. Anyway, let's move on to number three.
And point number three would be the suspension, which may need a little bit of tuning work. Now, a few people have slammed it, but I don't see it as necessarily such a big issue because it is a monster truck. And if you're going to hoon it around on its short turning radius like this, look at the turning radius, it's absolutely tiny on there. So of course, if you give it full throttle, the thing is going to pitch over upside down like that. See, I'm showing it some mechanical sympathy by doing this on the grass rather than on the blacktop on there. So while it has been getting a bit of criticism, there are not many monster trucks that have got that tight a turning circle on here, so I think that's a little bit to do with it. And also the fact it has just got that stupid amount of power, which I showed you in that acceleration test at the start. Never stand in front of the car. And yeah, well, on those short radius full throttle turns, the car is not that predictable. It's got an element of lift off oversteer to it, where you can skid that back around on there. So it's quite predictable, even if it's very fast. I am prepared to listen to the voice of the people out there, and their general opinion seems to be that we should put a thicker weight of shock oil in this car. So I'm going to go for 50 on the back and 40 on the front before I take the thing out in anger over the jump. Somebody said test it with the stock setup, then test it with the new oils on there. I'm more inclined to fit the new oil on there because of what people seem to be saying on there. So I'm quite prepared to listen to people out there. Anyway, on to point number 4. And point number 4 would be the one that's right in front of me, which is the clipless body, because it doesn't seem to want to go anywhere in a hurry, unlike the X-Max one, where it could pop off a lot under heavy landings. For the abuse I've been putting this through, for the limited abuse I've put this through so far anyway, I've not had any problems with this pulling through, and it looks quite well braced on the inside, both front and rear. So there's things to be aware of on the Traxxas MAXX. That's my point number 4. And point number 5 is maybe a more contentious one. It's what you can't see tucked away at the rear and the front here. You've got metal differential gears on here. Now, people were going on and on and on about the thing coming with a plastic spur gear. Oh wow, it's not really that expensive to replace it with one of these metal ones, guys. It is a damn sight more expensive to upgrade any car from plastic diffs to metal diffs. So this comes with them as standard. Some other manufacturer out there on their 4S cars, these are plastic, and I have found that those wear out. So, swings and roundabouts on the things. But for goodness sake, guys, don't just knock this car just because it's got a plastic spur gear on there when you've got metal diffs either end and other cars don't. I know I might get a bit of heat for that one, guys, but I'll call it like it is. So that's point number 5. And point number 6, another one that you can't see that you should be aware of that's hidden away here. We have got a metal center drive shaft tube, not a plastic one that's going to flex and crack under heavy braking or aerials on there. A metal one fitted down the middle of this car. Something you can't see, but you might not be aware of, but you are now. So that is point number 6. And point number 7. The car is Bluetooth ready. You need to be aware the transmitter does not come with the Bluetooth module in it as standard. You will see it is the transmitter from my Traxxas Fortec 2.0, which I have fitted the Bluetooth module in there. Once you fit it to one Traxxas I believe you can control up to 20 cars from the transmitter. So you've only got to buy the Bluetooth module once, if you like, even if you've got several Traxxas cars. So just be aware, it is Bluetooth ready, but you do need to buy the Bluetooth module for it. Doesn't come with it as standard. As I say, these are points that you should just be aware of. They're not necessarily criticisms of the car. Prime example being, a lot of Spectrum radios don't come with the module in the back of there either. And point number 8 would be the lighting kit, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'll show you a demo of it in the dark in just a second. However, I kind of do agree with people out there that at this price point, it should have come with the lighting kit as standard. This is one of the first delivery models, hence it's already got them fitted on there. But I do feel at this price point, they should have been included as standard on there. Although I would highly recommend fitting them if you can stretch to them. Although I suspect somebody in the aftermarket will come out with cheaper ones very shortly. So again, that is something you should be aware of. People might look at this car, see the lights on there and think this is the stock one. But you do have to pay extra for the lights. This is one of the first delivery models, so it came with a light. Anyway, quick demo of them at night. But just as an aside, I suspect that light bar is bright enough to drive at night with. And the tail lights are not too bad either. And point number 9, again, this is one to be aware of. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a showstopper, is the plastic drive shafts. Don't buy this expecting it's going to have metal ones all round. That said, if you look at them, they appear to be fairly beefy on here. Only time will tell, so I'm not going to criticise that until I put it through a good few bashing sessions and seen how they cope with. And they're by far from alone in fitting plastic drive shafts to their cars. Anyway, on to point number 10, which is my favourite one.
And point number 10, it's the braking. Yours truly is a huge fan of good brakes, and this thing sticks it and stops on like a dime. Simply phenomenal. One of the best braking cars I've got out there. Given the acceleration that you saw in point number 1, definitely need good brakes on this car. Anyway, let's pop outside for a quick practical demonstration.
And lastly, the brakes, because good brakes can be the difference between having a great day out or plowing straight into a wall or a tree. So that is why the brakes are at number 10.
Well, there we have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video of 10 things to be aware of on the Traxxas MAXX. As I say, they're not all criticisms, they're just things to be aware of, some positive points, some are things that might need addressing or may need you to modify them, but none are showstoppers to my mind so far. But time will tell when we get this thing outside and give it a good hard bashing. So if you don't want to miss that video, don't forget to subscribe. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.